Good afternoon, Bournemouth fans, and welcome to the Face-Off. It's a chance for two fans of the opposing sides to come together and argue the fact that their team is going to win on Friday. And it's a huge match on Good Friday as AFC Bournemouth entertain Middlesbrough. And to talk about it, well, we've got two darting superstars. They are both Lakeside champions, and one of them also is the PDC Premier League champion as well. We are delighted to bring in Scott Mitchell and also GLEN DURRANT. How are you guys? You all right?
Very good.
All good.
Well, Scott, it's clear that you're the Bournemouth fan, of course, and every time I see you on an interview on YouTube or Sky Sports, you seem to mention Middlesbrough. You're a big fan of them, right?
I've just done an hour worth of interviews for the Premier League there, and one of the questions was, who's been your toughest opponent over the years? And my answer was Scott Mitchell. And at 11 o'clock today, I get Scott Mitchell and it's Bournemouth Boro, so this could be interesting.
This could be absolutely tasty. But, Duzzer, I've got to say, for someone who moved over from the BDO, and I think you got your tour card in 2019, what a whirlwind it's been for you, eh? And that culminated with that Premier League title last year. Incredible.
The first 18 months was an absolute fairy tale. Got into it full of confidence from the BDO, and the icing on the cake was the Premier League. And, like any football team, I'm going through a lot of form at the moment. But you find out an awful lot about yourself when you're not playing so well. But all good in the hood.
It's just a shame that you couldn't do it in front of the fans, I suppose, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've just been interviewed by every newspaper, every media outlet, and you do feel a little bit cheated. When you lift that Premier League trophy, I had dreams of doing that at the O2. I had dreams of doing it at the Riverside. But listen, a lot of my friends are furloughed, etc. I'm still very privileged to be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about Jonathan Woodgate later because he, like you, loves a Parmo, and we need to find out what on earth that is all about. It's supposed to be a delicacy. I need to get hold of one and have a munch of it. But yeah. So congratulations on where you're at, and Scott Mitchell. It seems like you came out the BDO at the right time, eh? Because the BDO is no more, and you got your tour card early this year. How's it all been going for you?
It's been going okay. I had a little dabble at it last year and unfortunately didn't get a tour card last year. So I was lucky to get in some of the pro tours and be with Glenn most weekends. And that was great for me, really. A good sort of learning curve. And then this year managing to get the tour card, I'm probably just trying to emulate what Glenn's done. I'm just trying to have a really good 12 months and try and get myself on to the Ali Pally, really, is the biggest goal that I need to do this year.
And hopefully, we should be having it in front of fans this year. I mean, I think fans are being introduced to various events. So hopefully by Christmas, it will be, the Ali Pally that we know and love. And I certainly can't wait to see it. But we're here to talk about the football. AFC Bournemouth entertain Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, they're just behind us and they've got designs on the playoff, I'm absolutely certain. So this segment is called the Face-Off. This is where I give you 5 questions each. You've got about 20 or 30 seconds to answer. Feel free to banter. Feel free to be rude. It's all about bringing the rivalry back. But Scott, of course, you are representing AFC Bournemouth, and of course, GLEN DURRANT, of course, Middlesbrough. So let's do it. So then, Scott, tell me about how AFC Bournemouth's season has been going so far.
Well, to be honest, I think some of the fans have been a little bit disappointed, and I'm one of them. I thought we would be a dead cert and be sat in the top 6, 6th at worst all season. So, we're almost there, but we've let some games go that I think we shouldn't let go, and I think the fans are disappointed with that.
Glenn, Middlesbrough, they are currently sitting 9th in the table. They're 3 points behind us. Talk about your season so far. How's it been going?
For me, it's all about Neil Warnock. What a character, what a manager. He's revitalised, rejuvenated the team, the squad. I think we're not looking so much at promotion this year. He's signed another year, and I think he wants to go out on a high. I think automatic promotion for Middlesbrough next year.
Love it, love it. Scott Mitchell, you got 3 darts. You approached the dartboard. Out of 180, how would you rate Bournemouth's season so far? Because it almost felt we started off with a triple 20, really good start, but then, you know, perhaps we got a 1. I don't know. Rate it out of 180.
I'd say we're about 85. We've had a triple 20. We've hit a single 20, which is run of the mill, and then we've drifted into the 5 for the last section of the season, I'd say.
And Glenn, what's your rating of Middlesbrough's season so far with 3 darts?
First dart, treble 20. Great start. Second dart, a big fat 20. Last start, a big 1. Our home form in January, we lost at home to Birmingham, we lost at home to Bristol City, and we lost at home to another side, which Rotherham. And from there, it was our away form's great. We beat Reading that month. We beat Notts Forest. We look great. Our away form is better than the home form.
Brilliant. Scott Mitchell, who are the standout players to watch out for? Who's going to rip it up against Boro on Good Friday?
Well, to be honest, we never even know who's going to play. Woodgate don't see the sticks saying people. Just, you know, I mean, I managed a Sunday morning pub football team and I had to stick the same guys on every week or they didn't know what they were doing. Come on, you got to find a shape and just stick with it and go, come and get us. And obviously, I want Dom Solanke to start whacking the back of the net. He looks to be the one that's going to score the goal for us. He's also making goals, which is a good thing. But we're just making silly mistakes in defence and we're giving easy goals away. And that's the most worrying thing at the moment.
Very honest answer. What about you, Duzzer? Who are the players to watch out for? Who's going to rip it up at Dean Court?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to rip it up, but look for a central defender called Dale Fry. I think he's been... I think Burnley are interested in for about 10 million quid, and for me, he's our outstanding player. Obviously, we've got players like Balassi who can rip it up, but I'm going to go for Akbom, you're my Akbom. In Tom Jones' Sex Bomb song, I'm going to go for him to have a great match, but we're not scoring enough goals. Our highest goal scorer this year is Duncan Watmore with 6 goals. Not good enough. We need a 20-goal striker.
Yeah, totally agree. So what would be a successful season for AFC Bournemouth this season, Scotty Dog?
To finish in the top 6 now from where we are, I think that would be plausible. Not what we wanted from the start of the year, but like we said, we started well and you know, now if we've managed to get the top 6, that would be great. The good thing we have at the moment is Reading are coming to meet us. Reading have got a tough run in, and so and again, I think they've got Barnsley at the weekend on tomorrow. So that's at Barnsley. So that could be a big favour for us.
What about you, Duzzer? Would it be overly bad if Boro were to miss out on the playoffs this season?
Not from me, and I'll be really honest with you. Our next 3 games are huge: Bournemouth, Watford, and Barnsley. If we got 9 points from there, the running's okay. Sheff, Wed, Wycombe, etc. I daren't dream that we're going to get 9 points from them 3 games there. For me, genuinely, I really have hopes and expectations of a great season next year, and I think it could even be Neil Warnock's last year.
Interesting. Okay, penultimate question. Tell us why AFC Bournemouth are going to reign victorious on Friday, Scott.
We're going to come out of the traps really quick, and we need to score in the first 20 minutes. Otherwise, you know, I think we'll probably score 2 in the first 20 minutes. The downside is Warnock's the difference. He sets his teams up to not lose silly goals early doors. And I think they're going to be difficult to break down. I don't see it being a high-scoring match.
And Glenn, why are Boro going to get the points?
2 reasons. We're much better away from home than we are at home. And secondly, Neil Warnock will not want to lose against Johnny Woodgate, the guy that left our club, obviously, last year. We were in a mess when Johnny left us. He's a legend. Love Woodgate. He will have learned so much. I hope he has a fantastic time at Bournemouth. It means a lot to me. He treated me great. But for me, Warnock will not want to lose to Woodgate.
Finally, Scott, go on then. Prediction. What's the score going to be?
I think, like I just said, I think we're just going to, if we win it, we're going to nick it 1-0. I really do. I think it's going to be a really tight game. And you know, I think they know how to park the bus a little bit and catch us on the break, which is what we fear most, I think.
And Glenn?
Solanke to open the score early doors. I'm going to go against the grain there. And then we're going to get 2 goals. And I don't even know if he's playing, but I'm going to stick with Akbom. And he's going to get the 2 goals. 2-1 victory for the mighty Boro.
Superb. Right, now I've got to rate your answers. I think they were both really good. Who's won this face-off? You know what? I'm calling it a draw. You can shake hands on it at some point.
I think Glenn was better than me, to be honest.
Well, Well, maybe it could be an injury time winner for Glenn. Who knows? But I'm calling it a draw. I can't quite side with Glenn just yet. Absolutely fantastic answers. Now we'll just relax a little bit. This isn't against the clock, but Glenn, tell us about the Parmo, because Jonathan Woodgate recently he alluded to it in an interview, and one of the local radio presenters down here actually then arranged for him to get a Parmo delivered by a local restaurant after one of our games, which we actually lost. But tell us about this northeastern, delicacy.
Yeah, I think it's about 4,000 calories every pizza shop you go to, restaurant. It's the main meal above pizzas and above burgers, etc. It's a piece of chicken battered out. It's breadcrumbed. It's deep fried. It's then got bechamel sauce over it. Then cheddar cheese sauce on top under the grill. 4,000 calories. I'm down to 2 a day.
Absolute superb. And, Scott, is it fair to say that since moving to the PDC, you've become more professional in sort of many ways of life? Have many things changed that much, considering this is now your main thing?
Look, you have to make it your main thing. You can't go to the PDC and not give it your all and make it the main focus, because you'll just get eaten up and swallowed up. So this is very different gravy. It's a very different ball game. I believe I'm good enough to be there, and now I've got to go and show that I'm good enough to be there, and really try and follow Glenn's lead with his first 18 months, really. And if I could do half of that, I'd be a really happy man.
Brilliant. Well, it's been absolutely brilliant to have you on today, guys. Thank you so much, Scott Mitchell. Appreciate your time.
No problem at all.
And Glenn, obviously best wishes. You've got the Premier League title. I'm sure that's going to make you thirsty for more, isn't it?
It is. Listen, I marked the game for Scott last week. His game's top notch. Bournemouth fans, get behind him. He's got a big, big future. He's a very professional. He will do great in the PDC. Thank you. Premier League next week. It's what I've always dreamt of. It's time for a bit of PMA, remain positive, and let's move forward and let's get this road back on track.
Yeah, we'll all be watching on Sky Sports. It's at Milton Keynes for the first 9 weeks, and then who knows after that, hopefully with fans after that. Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it.
Cheers, thank you. And now let's go through the teams. And to go through the side that's going to grace Dean Court on Friday, I've got the one and only Tom Jordan. Tom, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Looking forward to get back to domestic football.
How have you enjoyed this international week?
It's tough. I always try. I always try and believe and stay positive and think, we got all these players, but it is hard to watch most of the time, isn't it? It's not that exciting. And yeah, you just don't have that same kind of connection to it like you do your club, I don't think. But won all the games, didn't we, at least?
So 2 games in 4 days for Bournemouth and a chance to put bed the demons of that Saints performance, eh? We need it.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? Because we're used to having so many games. So, yeah, whether that'll be a good thing or not, time will tell. But, yeah, back to business now. 2 massive games, 2 really difficult games on paper as well. So, it could really shape our season, really. 6 points and suddenly, we're looking like we're nailed on for the playoffs. So it can all change really quickly.
Yeah, it can. So we won't go through what we think Woodgate's going to do because we don't know what that is. However, let's do what TJ wants to do. So we've got your team on screen. We'll start in goal. Tom, who are you going to go with? Let me guess.
Yeah, it's a difficult decision, that, but I'm just going to pip Asmir Begovic. Trevor's been away on international duty, which is always nice for him. But obviously Begovic. And then, kind of a back 4 I think most people would pick. And I think Woodgate will actually. Stacey, Carter-Vickers, Cook and Kelly. I saw Kelly played for the under-21, so he's obviously fit, which is good. But yeah, into midfield, like I say, this is what I would go for. This is definitely not what Woodgate would go for. I just look at us at the moment and think we're struggling out wide. I think Stanislas is so ineffective off the right. So I would like to see a diamond. I think we've got the players for it. Pearson's natural at sitting deep, and then I think Lerma and Wilshere together have got a lot of energy in their middle areas. And then Stanislas in the 10, I quite like him there, a bit advanced. Pop up in different areas, hard to pick up. So I like him there. Harsh on Billing, but obviously I'm mainly thinking he did have a knock, couldn't go on international duty. And I think out of all of them, he's quite good off the bench. He's done well off the bench for us and good option to have. But yeah, I wouldn't argue if Billing did start, but yeah, for me, I'd like to see that diamond. I think that could work.
And is it fair to say that you've gone Junior in that position because on the right-hand side, he's just not as effective as what he is on the left? So you're sort of compromising, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously, Brooks is back in training, which could be a big plus for us to the end of the season if he turns up. But he's been out for a fair while, so I don't expect him to start. And yeah, and then I think we just kind of put Junior out there, and he's not as effective out there. So I'd like to see him in there. But yeah, up top, I just think at the moment, Solanke needs someone closer to him. And I look at Dan Juma, and a lot of us say about how on that left-hand side, he doesn't do a lot of work backwards. But I think if we get him closer to Solanke as a 2, I'd like to see it. I think Dan Juma is that sort of player. I'd rather him have a bit of a roam up there in and around Dom. And Dom, especially in that Southampton game, just so isolated. I think he does his job well, and then he thinks, where is everyone? So I think if you had Arnie alongside him, and then, like I say, Stanislas kind of popping up in and around, and also with a diamond, I think it gives you the option for the fullbacks in Stacey and Kenny to really bomb on and use that and provide the width. And then someone like a Pearson, when the fullbacks bomb on, he just stays. So it kind of almost makes it a free. So it's just something I've always thought with the players we've got available. I think we've got the players that would fit a diamond quite nicely. Like I say, I don't think it will suddenly change the system, but it'll probably be a similar personnel. I just think it'll probably be Dan Junior on the left and Stanislas on the right.
So in an ideal world, we'll all be hoping for 6 points, but worst case scenario, what would you be okay with from these next couple of games?
I mean, 4 would be okay, probably. I think beating Middlesbrough's key, because I think we don't want Middlesbrough, one of them teams that are trying to just slowly get into them that shout amongst the playoffs. Losing to Middlesbrough, suddenly they're right in it. If we beat them, we almost kill them off in a way. I know mathematically we don't, but I feel like if we beat them, we almost go, right, there's one of the playoff hunters out of the way. So I think if we beat Middlesbrough, then a point against Blackburn won't be the worst thing in the world. But it's weird, if it's the reverse, then I don't think it's as good, because I think you've got to beat the teams that you're competing with. But I think Barnsley playing Reading is interesting because it means they both can't win. Yeah. So, I think, obviously we all want 6. I wouldn't take any less because I think we're capable. 4 wouldn't be too bad. It's weird, isn't it? Some ways 2's better than 3 because 3 means you've lost a game. 2 means you haven't. It all depends, but I think that the key is we can't afford, out of these 2 games, Middlesbrough to beat us. We can't afford for that to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your prediction then?
Oh, I do think it's going to be a tight one. Middlesbrough, Neil Warnock's side are always hard to break down. I think it could be 1-0 either way. I think we'll nick it 1-0. I'll go with Dom, but yeah, I think we'll nick it 1-0. But I do think it will be quite a cagey affair. I remember when we went there really early in the season. It was our first away game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they're quite physical, quite organised, and we found it hard to break them down. And they nicked one at the end. But I think it'll be quite a tight game. Don't see an awful lot of goals in this one, actually. Whereas I think it might be the reverse against Blackburn. They're quite a free scoring. So 2 different games. But yeah, I think we'll just nick it, hopefully.
Okay, so how do you fancy one of these bad boys? Back of the net mug. This is what we're talking about. If you want one of these, Tom's got one as well, on brand. Then just put your score prediction and the first goal scorer. So it can be anyone. It can be a Boro player, it can be a Bournemouth player. If you get it right, correct scorer and correct scoreline, then we will send you one of these. We've got one to give away per game for the rest of the season. And yeah, you could get your hands on one of these prized possessions. They will be available at some point soon. But yeah, put that in there. No edited answers will count because we know on YouTube you can go in and edit afterwards. None of that stuff. Remember to do your Super Sixes, of course. And yeah, Tom, hopefully we get the 3 points. What are you just hoping to see?
Hoping to see, as always, a bit of that fight, that hunger, that desire, that kind of will to win, and them really all fighting together as a team. Obviously, we all want the connections to happen and all the good things, all the nice football and stuff like that. But I think first and foremost, always think to that Watford game. That's priority for me. You want to see that you think they really care and they're really up for this promotion fight. Because I always think we have got the quality. We've seen it at the start of the season, didn't we? Where we probably weren't that great, but then we put out a bit of magic. We have got that in us more than most teams in the league. It's just we've got to get the basics right first. I'm hoping, that a little break, hopefully will do us good. But yeah, we were going to say it all the time, but now it's like, right, now the season starts. I know it's ridiculous for an April, but it feels like that now. This is our chance. Let's not. We've had so many times where we've like we said, the Watford game, we think, oh, we're back, and then we drop again. It's like one step forward, two steps back. Let's just kick on from here, because we're in April, but it's all to play for. You know, if we suddenly just go, you know, unbeaten, or we have a really good run, suddenly we're going to be on form into the playoffs, and suddenly then people are going, oh, Bournemouth probably favourites for the playoffs with the form they're on. So, yeah, and I think, like we mentioned, Barnsley playing Reading, really good, because it means they both can't win. So we could look a lot rosier going into the Blackburn game, and that'll fill us with confidence. And like I said, Brooksy coming back. I think Smithy's coming back. We're getting a few players back now, so no excuses.
No excuses. When we did that live show a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday night, when we did the predictor, what scoreline did we put? I mean, did we put the Bournemouth were going to beat Boro, right?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we might have actually gone 1-0. It was 1-0 or 2-1, I think. And then we actually said that Blackburn away would be the one. You know, we tried to be unbiased, weren't we? And I think that's probably fair. I think if you weren't a Bournemouth fan and you were predicting, you'd probably say Bournemouth would win one of the two, just because of how consistently inconsistent we are. But if you win, when you've got 2 games so quickly, if you win the first one, suddenly then, you know, you can bounce off that. So, you know, we lose to Middlesbrough, and the pressure on the Blackburn game will be huge. Yeah. Whereas if we beat Middlesbrough, I think we go in there with a bit more confidence into the Blackburn game. But yeah, it'll be an interesting game, because Middlesbrough feel like they were never really in the picture, and they've kind of come out of nowhere with Warnock. He knows what he's doing in this level. So be a good game. They've got a few good players, but we'll be fine. We'll win it.
Excellent. Tom, thanks very much for coming on.
Cheers, boss.
Cheers. It was also great to see Scott Mitchell and Glen Durrant earlier on as well. And remember, we got the free-for-all after the game, so if you want to come on and chat, we'd be delighted to hear from you. Until then, up the cherries.